OpenAI recently released the Atlas browser, a web browser that integrates with ChatGPT so you can talk to it alongside websites. More importantly, it can actually do tasks for you. So here's what we're testing: LinkedIn automation, social media engagement, research tasks, and whether it can handle complex multi-step workflows. Some of these will work perfectly, some of them will crash and burn. Let's find out which is which. A couple of months ago, OpenAI released what they called ChatGPT Agent, which sent ChatGPT off into a virtual environment to accomplish various tasks on the web for you. The thing that I found with it was that there were a lot of tasks where it would take quite a long time to do, and they were really simple. And I thought, why bother using this agent? Why not just do it myself? And on the other end, there were tasks that would be really valuable to me, but that it just couldn't do. But there was this sweet spot right in the middle where you could find something that was both useful and that it was capable of executing. So the purpose of this video is to try and find that sweet spot for Atlas as well. Okay, so Atlas is totally integrated with ChatGPT, and you'll see here that once you've downloaded and logged into Atlas with your ChatGPT account, you'll have all of your chats on the side here. Whenever you start something new in agent mode or a new tab, it starts you straight in ChatGPT. So let's start with a really simple task, which is still pretty useful. On the top right here, you can click Ask ChatGPT, and then I'm just on a YouTube video here about the new Google AI Studio that I'll do a video on in future. And I'll just say, summarize this video. Okay, in about 10 seconds, it gives me a full summary, including an overview, the main points from the video. So instead of having to, click on more and then go down to show transcript and then turning off the timestamps and then copying all of this and then going over into ChatGPT to summarize the whole video, you can now do that straight within Atlas. So that's pretty convenient. Okay, let's step it up a notch. The thing that really interests me about Atlas is the agent mode. So I'm going to turn on agent mode here. I've uploaded a document called the Quietly Smart ICP. That's my ideal customer profile. I'm asking the agent to find 10 people on LinkedIn matching my ICP and send connection requests to them. We'll just click go. And now it's going to take over the browser and start clicking around within LinkedIn, searching. Let's see how well it does this job. So it's spent about 2 minutes looking for people on LinkedIn. It found me 10 different contacts. All of them seem pretty legit. Then it asked me, do you want me to proceed with sending connection requests to them? I said, go ahead. And that took about 5 minutes. Could I have done that by myself in 2 or 3 minutes? Yes, I could. Let's ramp it up a notch. And I'm going to say, search through Nasserat's recent posts, find a post that is related to the kind of posts that I and make a comment that reflects our mutual interests using my tone of voice guide. So I've attached my tone of voice guide. I've got another video where I teach how to make these kind of strategic documents for your business, which I will link above. Let's let it go. Okay, so it ran into a stumbling block. Nasserat hadn't actually made any posts. It found something that person was interested in and started writing a comment on that. And then it stopped and said, okay, do you want to make this comment? I said, no. Rather than doing that, try commenting on one of Supatra's posts instead. And I checked ahead of time to see if she'd made any posts. And it went to the first post that was somewhat related to what I talk about, and wrote a comment saying, love seeing interactive campaigns like this that invite customers to play with the brand. In my work, I've been combining AI tools with storytelling to build similar experiences for small teams, blah, 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 blah. And it's pretty good. Now, should it have scrolled through more of Supatra's posts? I think so, but it kind of just went lazily to the first post. Now, there's, of course, an ethical question here. Would you actually want to do this? Would you actually want AI to write something for you that you haven't come up with yourself? I would say there's a two-pronged answer to this. Short answer, no. Long answer, if you can really dial it in and get it to understand you, what you talk about, what you're interested in, and basically act as you, then absolutely let it write at least a draft comment on people's posts. Then you can review it, and that can motivate you to be more active on LinkedIn, which, to be honest, I can't be bothered with most of the time. So this is a kind of short way of helping you navigate to posts that you otherwise might not have, and then engaging with people like that. Most importantly, I just wanted to see if it could do it, and I'd give it about a B or a B plus for the result. Next, I just asked Atlas to analyze the types of posts that I make and describe the topics and subtopics I discuss. It does a really good job of summarizing that. Okay, super easy task, right? Next, I'm coming over to Twitter. I've just started this channel, so I haven't made any posts or anything. And my goal is basically to automate this entire channel. So I'm just giving it an easy task now, saying find 10 posts that might be of interest to me. I pasted the analysis of the posts I make from LinkedIn. And yeah, now I'm just going to ask it to do this. We'll see if it needs agent mode to go through like different sites, but let's see what happens. Okay, it's found information about me on LinkedIn and YouTube rather than using the Twitter site. So find posts by other people on Twitter that are similar to mine. Okay. It was really quick. It found 3 tweets, all of them quite relevant to me. Now what I'm going to do is choose agent mode, and I'm going to just say retweet those 3 posts. After about 2 minutes, it says it's opened the retweet menus for 2 of the Twitter posts. The third one it recommended was a standalone article. So it's asking me if I would like to retweet those or share the article. And I'm just going to say, do both. Okay, it's done a perfect job. It's retweeted the 2 people and reposted the article from Creative Block. So next, I'm just going to ask it to follow those 2 people, or possibly Creative Block if it can find it, and find 10 more people who share similar content on X and follow them too. The last one took about 3 minutes, which is slightly longer than it would take a human to do. In general, these tasks are going to take longer than it would take for you to do manually, but that's not the point. Even if it takes 5 times as long, you can just set it and forget it. So this is like having an intern just going off and doing work for you. Even if they're slow, who cares? Okay, we're going to try something really ambitious here. Within Pinterest, I've asked it to use my browser to find 20 highly ranked, visually engaging social media images that showcase advertising campaigns for hotels. And then in Google Slides, I'm hoping it will create a new presentation with all of those images and a description. Let's see if it works. Okay, so as expected, that didn't work. That task was just too complex for it. It worked for about 30 minutes and it put together this slide presentation. You can see that it's written the descriptions there and it's just kind of pasted the images over the top. And it only got as far as 2 slides. So what I did instead was I just said, okay, well, give me all of the links to the ones that you found, because I could see that it did find some pretty good images. And it gave me the links, and there they are. So not bad, but that was just too challenging. I've been trying to figure out how to automate sales for Quietly Smart because I hate sales. I hate reaching out to people. So I would rather somebody else just do it for me or build my own automation. Anyway, let's look at what's on offer. I heard about this one company called SalesMind AI. So I'm going to ask Atlas to find me the top 2 competitors to SalesMind with a similar pricing structure and make a comparison chart of each. My goal is to find an automated sales platform appropriate for Quietly Smart. I said create a Google Sheet to be clear about what sort of format we want for that comparison chart. So it's starting to search the web and looking at SalesMind pricing, and I'll come back to you when it's done. And here are the results. It's given me the tool, the price, the core channels, the model, the key strengths and considerations, and it's even made a bar chart with the prices. So that is about as good a result as you can expect. So if you're looking for this kind of task, especially comparisons, which involve looking at multiple sites and then creating a document based on that research, this is excellent. Just a quick note on security. Atlas is vulnerable to something called prompt injection. That means some malicious websites can actually have invisible text that tell Atlas to disobey your instructions or to give it certain information. To be careful there, I would recommend only using Atlas with trusted, reputable websites and also only letting it access data that's not super sensitive. I wouldn't allow it to access any of your super private information or company documentation, like private company web servers and stuff like that. In order to be safe, I would recommend just telling Atlas never to browse websites that are not reputable or well known. So here's what we learned. Atlas does have a sweet spot. Simple web tasks, too easy. Just do them yourself. Impossible multi-step projects, it'll waste 30 minutes trying. But that middle zone, like automated prospecting and social media engagement, comparison research, that's where it's awesome. So the real unlock is this. Even if Atlas takes 5 times longer than you would, you can set it and forget it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.